Is India surrendering to the lynch mob? The spate of killings across the country based on rumours and fake news generated by word of mouth and the social media have destroyed the lives of innocents and condemned them to the worst imaginable death. The perpetrators have been a murderous set of people who have indulged in the most savage brutality. On July 1st, 5 members of a nomadic tribe who had arrived in Lynchmob village in Dhule district in Maharashtra with the intention of seeking arms were suspected of being child lifters. They were hounded and beaten up brutally. They were then taken to the Lynchmob Gram Panchayat office, where a mob surrounded them and attacked them with whatever they could find their hands on, eventually murdering them. Such was the savagery involved that the victims were attacked even as their bodies lay motionless on the floor.
We are right now inside the very room where the 5 victims were mercilessly hacked to death. In fact, these are the visuals that you can see clearly of in fact decaying blood that is all over the place. The 5 victims arrived begging for money into the village, made certain inquiries, but the villagers believed that they were in fact kidnappers, child kidnappers, a rumor that had been floating around in the village for quite some time. They were beaten up, dragged into this very room, and certain sharp objects were used to hit them, and one can see clearly, at least on the walls, being a testimony of that entire violence that took place in this very room. In fact, the room still has strong smell of decaying blood, and also at the same time is plastered with the posters of national leaders, including that of Mahatma Gandhi, whose cry for non-violence was in fact a far cry from what exactly happened into this very room.
The day after the lynching, a case of murder was filed against 35 people, 23 of whom were arrested. But many allegedly involved in the lynching have fled the village. The 5 victims, as per their families, were carrying their ID cards and had procured permission from police stations in the vicinity to beg. Many of their murderers, though, may still be on the run.
2 days after 5 people were lynched to death here in Lynchmob in Dhule, today the entire village has become a ghost town. In fact, no villagers here ready to speak to the media. In fact, most of them have in fact fled from the village, is what people as well as the local police has been telling us. It is mostly the females here who still continue to stay in the various homes. The only people at this point who are giving us company are in fact the local police that has been asked to wait here and maintain the law and order situation.
The families of the victims are distraught and are camping in Lynchmob village, crying for justice. An eyewitness to the incident, Sakaram Pawar, in fact said that he called the police to intervene, but even the police party was threatened by the mob with iron rods and was not allowed to enter the Gram Panchayat's office, where the 5 men were being beaten to death.
Time and again it's been a law and order situation. In fact, a similar message has been going around in Malegaon, also in adjoining Dhule, whereas you know, the WhatsApp message said that there were kidnappers out there who were looking out for children, and yesterday also there was a law and order situation where several police officers were injured. But it is the same thing. Time and again we also yesterday heard from the law and order department of the state asking not to believe certain of these messages that are coming forth. In case if one does receive WhatsApp messages about these child lifters, they need to report it to the nearby police station immediately. But for now, this is the entire cost of it, of the entire rumor mongering that you can see. 5 of the innocents who have lost their lives. These in fact are visuals of their camps here in Dhule, where they have been camping for quite some time. Also at the same time, families of those who have lost their lives, saying that what is it, why is it that their near and dear ones were lynched yesterday, what was the exact reason, when they were simply innocent people who had just in fact reached here at Dhule after they got off that bus, which is when the villagers who were nearby, close to around 240 to 250 of them, most of whom can be identified in those videos, in fact to the extent cheering while those 5 people were being beaten up. Right now the cops are on the lookout for them. It is believed that they are close to around 240 of them are currently on the run. 15 of them have been detained since last night to try and find out more information about the others who are on the run. But while that is a police investigation, the part of the police investigation, on the other hand, it is the families here that are mourning for quite some time. The Sarpanch has just visited them. Police officials are here also on the ground to ensure that there is no further deterioration. But so far what we do know is that in the state of Maharashtra particularly, it was not just Dhule yesterday but also Malegaon, where communal tension had been sparked, and here particularly in Dhule you have the incident of 5 of innocents losing their lives. If one looks clearly at the videos yesterday where the entire incident, you have not just people who are cheering for them while in fact the 5 people are being lynched to death. You also have certain people who are themselves shooting the entire video, who are in a way, probably in a sense, if not directly related to the crime, indirectly related to the crime. And what police officials from the state of Maharashtra have been telling me is that right now is that they have managed to identify certain people, but while trying to find out those people, they continue to be on the run. And yes, that seems to be a very common excuse now coming forth, saying that yes, see, there are a large number of people that we need to identify, we cannot find them where they are, we've managed to detain a few. But in a way it also suggests that probably the investigation is lackadaisical in a sense, and that is what seems to be the excuse for now, at least when the state government of Maharashtra is concerned. 5 लोगों की हत्या हुई है, किस वजह से ये हो गई, कल क्या मतलब what was the situation here on ground?
ये ऐसी बात है सर कि ये जो ग्रामीण भाग है, ये साकरी तालुका है, इस बार भी ये रायकापाड़ा यहाँ से लगभग 30 किलोमीटर पे, तो ये लोग भिक्षु मांगने के लिए ये सोलापुर के है, तो इस बारे में जो घटना घटी वो अच्छी नहीं है। इस बारे में ये वैसे बहुत गरीब लोग है, वैसे तो नहीं, अभी कैसी अफवाह पूरा इंडिया में ऐसी अफवाह है कि छोटे बच्चे को पकड़ते और किडनी निकाल लेते हैं, और निकालने के बाद वो एक कहते वो, या जो अफवाह है अभी बड़ौदा में भी हुआ, एक छोटा सा बच्चा को एक किसी ने बाई ने उठा लिया था, पर उसके बाद में वो उसको छोड़ दिया, उसको जरा जख्मी करके छोड़ दिया। पर ये जो लोग है ये पेट भरने के लिए आए थे यहाँ, और इन लोगों ने, गांव के जो लोग हैं सभी लोग अच्छे, कोई लोग उसमें बुरे रहते, सब अच्छे नहीं। अभी ये गांव है, शहर पीपल रहे, इसमें भी ऐसी कोई घटना हुई तो उसमें सब लोग नहीं, एक ने मारा तो 25 लोग उठते, 25 से 100 लोग उठते, ये ऐसा क्रूर हत्या ये कर अच्छा नहीं है।
अभी सरकार जो हमारे 5 आदमी गए हैं ना, उनका सबका घर का खर्चा, जो भी सर्विस है उनका, लड़के लोग है, अभी जो लड़के लोग पूरा बेकार पड़ा है उनके लिए सर्विस, और जो रहने खाने का, आज तक हमारे जो समाज है, समाज कोई किसी इतना प्रामाणिक है, कुछ भी कुछ इधर का उधर नहीं करते वो लोग। ऐसे लोगों को इतना जोर से मारना, क्रूर करना, जो मर गए, हम लोग देखा तो मर गए, उसके ऊपर भी लाठी मार रहा है, तो एकदम पूरा ये हो गया उसका। और हमारे जो मांगे अभी उसमें जो भी है इसमें इन्वॉल्व, उसको 302 का गुना दाखिल करना चाहिए, और शासन से हम लोगों का जो भरपाई है सबको 25 लाख देना चाहिए सब पर हेड, और हमारे इधर का लोग जो है घर बेर उनका देना चाहिए, उनका सर्विस को, घर में जो भी है लड़के लोग सर्विस, उनका सर्विस को चाहिए।
What happened in Dhule tragically has become a pan-Indian phenomenon. More than 20 people have been killed across the country over the last 3 months as a consequence of rumors of child lifting. These are rumors and messages together with pictures often graphic in nature spread on social media platforms such as WhatsApp and have had a dangerous tendency to incite leaving unsuspecting innocent citizens vulnerable to self-proclaimed vigilante mobs who are actually committing acts of murder. And Assam in June witnessed a horrific crime fueled by similar insidious rumors. Nilotpal Das and Abhijit Nath were travelling back from Kathelangso through Assam's Karbi Anglong district in their SUV when they were stopped at Panjuri Kachari village. This reportedly was following a phone call to one of the villagers that a child had been abducted and was being taken in a black vehicle. Despite finding no child in the car, despite the pleas of other fellow villagers to let them go, and despite Nilotpal and Abhijit's cries for help, the villagers murdered them. At one point, Nilotpal Das can be heard screaming that he's an Assamese. The villagers did not spare him.
The incident doesn't seem to stop.
Yes. First of all, I like to say the particular incident was not a mob lynching. It was a pre-planned murder case or a planned murder case. So, in that case, I like to say the culprits should get exemplary punishment. I would like to appeal the Prime Minister of India that he, with his machinery, may kindly take some drastic steps for future generation, that he should take the confidence of all the state representatives of all the governments and the experts on these matters to form a stage as a whole for the country by taking the benefit of such superstitions like Hupadhara, Daini Hotta, Bhute Dhara. So these things of superstition have been taken as a weapon by some culprits to dislocate the idea and the thoughts of the backward, very, very backward people.
And our cities too are not immune. In Chennai's Thenampet area last month, 2 migrant workers were beaten and severely injured on the suspicion of abducting a 4-year-old boy.
On 30th June, Thenampet police station limit in Tiruvallur Salai, 2 persons belonging to Orissa were attacked on the rumors that they were child kidnappers. The 2 persons have been admitted to the hospital and their condition is stable. In connection with this incident, 1 person has been arrested so far. His name is Murugan. We are also searching for other persons involved in the incident. On behalf of police department, our appeal to the public is Chennai city in this year 2018 there has been no incident of child kidnap by outside state people reported in the year 2018. Chennai city is very safe for children. What we request the public is they should not believe the rumors that are being spread in WhatsApp and other social media platforms. They need to cross-verify the information before sharing it to others. Because as a responsible citizen, we need to, there are multiple ways to check the data which we received. Even spreading false news is also a crime. So we request the citizens to cross-verify the information before sharing them on other social media platforms.
See, this lynching and this kind of WhatsApp rumors, all this have been in the past also. But now it is in the rise because the administration, the people who are ruling the respective states and the police department and the intelligence have failed, because you cannot keep on blaming the social media forwards and the media reports or whatever they claim. See, this has been in the past. So it's not today that we are having this WhatsApp and social media. It is there for more than a decade. So all this was before also, and there was incidents happening, but it is now being spread in a very big manner, and it has not been controlled. I would directly hold responsible the government in place of respective states. They have not propagated what is happening. They should tell their police department officials and other revenue officials that these kind of forwards should not be believed.
Fake messages regarding child kidnappers on various social media platforms have triggered panic all across the country and have also claimed many lives. The situation here in Chennai and Tamil Nadu is no different. Right now I'm standing at the Tenampet junction, which is one of the busiest junctions in the city, and just few days back 2 migrant labourers from the state of Odisha were brutally beaten up by a mob just because they suspected them to be child kidnappers. These 2 men were immediately rushed to the hospital because they sustained serious injuries from the incident, and 1 arrest has been made so far in connection to this case. But this is not the only case. So far, 5 such cases have been reported from across Tamil Nadu, and 3 people have already lost their lives. The Tamil Nadu police, however, have come out and said that there is no reason to panic because Tamil Nadu is an extremely safe state for children, and they are of course taking all proactive measures possible to prevent social media users from falling prey to such fake messages.
A 40-year-old woman begging in Ahmedabad was also not spared when the auto rickshaw she and her 3 companions were travelling in was stopped and destroyed by a mob before they turned to her and killed her. Her name was Shantaben Marwari. The mob suspected that she and 3 others were part of a child lifting gang. In the wake of the series of lynchings across the country, the Indian government has called on WhatsApp to stem the flow of misinformation through its application. Other social media platforms too will be called in for a review. But the problem is not one of rumour mongering on social media alone. This is as much a problem of law enforcement, or rather the lack of it, across the country. In May last year, in what was part of a spate of lynchings in Jharkhand, Gautam Verma, his brother Vikas Verma, and their friend Gangesh Gupta were murdered by a mob in Nagadi near Jamshedpur over rumours of child lifters being present in the area. In fact, as per eyewitness accounts, this happened in the presence of the police. Gautam Verma was pulled out of a police jeep and beaten up until he died.
During those times, Jharkhand witnessed a large number of lynching in the name of child lifters. Now it's being said that both the brothers were tied here to this pole just in front of this house, and they were asked for identity cards. Now when they did not have the identity cards, they called up their home, and then their grandmother along with a friend came to this village with the identity cards. But the people here did not leave these brothers, rather they started beating up these brothers along with a friend who had come and the grandmother.
In a period of 3 days between late June and early July this year, there have been 3 lynching deaths in Tripura. In this particular instance, a policeman is seen right at the moment and the spot where a man is being beaten up by a mob, and there's no action taken. Be it vigilantism by self-proclaimed Gorakshaks or lynchings in response to rumours of child lifting, despite universal condemnation and promises of stepping up security, the incidents have continued unabated. So, once again, it begs the question, is India surrendering to the lynch mob, and how long will this cycle of violence continue?
While multiple lynching cases are being reported across India, the latest is here in Rainpada, Indule in Maharashtra, where 5 people were killed. Clearly, all of these lynching cases do point out towards an indication of a breakdown of law and order situation in different parts of India. Also, at the same time, what needs to be done immediately by the state government is to ensure that such cases do not take place, and more importantly, those who are the victims, their families, should be given immediate justice and cases should be investigated to their logical end.